You already know this is Pawn Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Crawford stated that he does not need Errol the Truth Spence. Terence Crawford, the guy that won a title in 135, that Bud Crawford. The guy that went to the 140 and became the undisputed 140-pounder, that Bud Crawford. The one that went to the welterweight and became WBO welterweight champion of the world, that Bud Crawford. 3-division world champion, that Bud Crawford. Pound for pound, 1, 2, 3, you can flip it around, that Bud Crawford. The walking Hall of Famer, that Bud Crawford, said he does not need Errol Spence. He doesn't. I mean, just by me saying all these things, he doesn't need Errol Spence. Multi-millionaire, 33 years old in the back end, in his prime, but in the back end of his prime. He does not need Errol Spence. It's a legit statement. Now, we all want to see Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford, but that's what we want to see. But just like I mentioned earlier, Errol Spence doesn't legitimize his position as pound for pound. Errol Spence doesn't legitimize his position as a walking Hall of Fame already. So does he need Errol Spence? No, he doesn't. As much as people will want to believe that he needs Errol Spence, he doesn't. Errol Spence probably needs Bud Crawford more than Bud Crawford needs him. I mean, he already became an undisputed in a 140-pounder. Does Bud Crawford needs to be undisputed at welterweight, needs to be undisputed at 154, needs to be undisputed as a middleweight so he could, legitimize his position as a walking Hall of Fame or a walking pound for pound? 1, 2, 3, you can flip it around. As much as a lot of people don't like that statement because you already know boxing fans, we are, we're spoiled brats. And what we want it. And if we don't want it, we shit on everybody else. No, you got to give us the, Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. You got to fight. You got to fight now. No, you're a bum. No, you're a bum. No, Errol Spence is a bum. No, Bud Crawford is a bum. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. In reality, no, Bud Crawford does not need Errol Spence. Bud Crawford does not need Sean Porter. Bud Crawford does not need Keith Thurman. Bud Crawford does not need Manny Pacquiao. Just like Manny Pacquiao don't need none of these guys. He's already legit. He's already legit. Now, whether you like his opponents or not, that's up for grabs. But I'm going to tell you like this. Any great fighter that knocks out everybody else, knocks out all his opponent, y'all always going to feel that he's not fighting nobody because he's beating everybody. He's beating everybody. How do you know if Bud Crawford does fight Errol Spence and he knocks Errol Spence in the second round, that's going to legitimize his position? Nah, because he's already in position. He's already a walking Hall of Famer. So I actually do believe that Bud Crawford means what he's saying, that he does not need Errol Spence. And truth be told, he does not need Errol Spence. He does not need Errol Spence. I mean, Errol Spence, I think him in 147, body-wise, is well overdue in 147. I believe that Errol Spence could campaign in 154, and I believe that he will campaign in 154. He will campaign probably in 160 if he does get a fight, with one of the top dogs, Premier Triple G, maybe Canelo Alvarez. They've been talking about it, but I don't think the Canelo Alvarez is going to go back to the middleweight division. See, the road for Bud Crawford probably does end in 147, 33 years old. The road for Errol Spence probably does not end 147. Maybe Errol Spence doesn't need Bud Crawford to legitimize himself because a lot of people already have him as one of the top welterweights. See, the problem is that fans like to, this is what happens when fans like to oversee things and become Miss Cleo and not enjoy the journey of these fighters. There was a time when Keith Thurman was the unified champion. Everybody still was talking about Bud and Errol Spence, not giving Keith Thurman his just due. It happened. I had a video when Bud Crawford went to First Take and Max Kellerman was asking him, what's your legacy fight? And Bud Crawford said Keith Thurman. They asked Errol Spence, who's your legacy fight? He said Keith Thurman. And both Max Kellerman, they're supposed to be, a credible opinion in the sport of boxing. Stephen A. Smith was there, but you already know he's not a credible opinion in boxing. But they got a high traffic channel, and they say, no, Errol Spence, your legacy fight is Bud Crawford. No, Bud Crawford, your legacy fight is Errol Spence, is not Keith Thurman. So the credit in becoming a unified champion, it was incredible for credible opinions. See, the thing is, that fight been hyped more than anything else. And personally, I never thought that was the mega fight anyway. I mean, now it is because they're undefeated. But I always thought that a Keith Thurman and Bud Crawford stylistically was a harder matchup, just like Bomac. Bud's trainer said that the hardest fighter for a Bud is a Keith Thurman. That's why I wanted to see the Keith Thurman versus Bud rather than Kell Brook. It didn't happen. We didn't get what we want. I ain't get what we want. A lot of people ain't calling for that. In reality, maybe they don't need each other to solidify themselves as great or pound for pound. They made it into the list without fighting each other. People feel like Errol Spence is one of the best. But Errol Spence is a legit pure welterweight. Bud Crawford already made his mark. He's not in a welterweight to chase Errol Spence. He's in a welterweight to chase more belts. And if you got the belt, cool. If you don't, That's why Bud Crawford's one Manny Pacquiao. See, when you achieve a lot of things, you just want, a torch to be passed. Errol Spence have beaten Sean Porter, Kell Brook in his prime. But a lot of people feel like it was drained. I mean, there's a lot of people that feel like you could take away from every other fighter. They said about Deontay Wilder, he ain't never fought nobody and made 10 defenses, 11 defenses, whatever it was. The people say Amanda Serrano haven't achieved nothing. She's the 7 Division World Champion, and they give all the praise to Katie Taylor and forget about her, right? The problem is maybe that we just need to credit the fighter the way we should and just be fair. And stop trying to devalue and discredit everything a fighter does because he's not doing or she's not doing what you want them to do, but yet they're still accomplishing. There's a saying in boxing that you fight whoever they put in front of you. That's what Bud is doing. That's what Bud is doing. That's what Spence is doing. That's what Keith is doing. That's what Tyson Fury is doing. That's what Deontay Wilder is doing. It's what Canelo is doing. It's what every fighter is doing. They're fighting the people they put in front of them. It is what it is. I don't care about the fight no more either. I really don't like talking about the fight. If you follow the channel, if you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get my updated videos. I've always been saying it, that this fight is not going to happen. Errol Spence says he won 60-40. Bud Crawford said that is never going to happen. He has legit... Errol Spence, money-wise, have a legit stance on that, but Bud Crawford also has a legit stance on that. His minimum purse, his guaranteed purse is in the $4 million. That's guaranteed purse. I think he got a better guaranteed purse than all these guys, technically wise. I mean, these guys been making money off the pay-per-view, but Bud Crawford has been making money. He's been making money. Look, I'm sorry to say, folks, that fight is never going to happen. And you know what? I don't care. It's not going to happen. Let's move on, folks. Let's move on, folks. There's more things that's happening in the welterweight division, and more things that probably could happen in the welterweight division, which is hot, and it could be good. We got Virgil Ortiz coming through. We got Boots Ennis, the future of the sport of boxing, the phenoms. I'm looking for them. I mean, Porter. Who else could he fight? Daniel Garcia got to fight with Errol Spence. Let's see if Daniel Garcia actually beats Errol Spence. We'll see. At the end of the day, man, this is not a sport anymore. This is business. The business is not working. The fight ain't going to happen, and I don't give a damn. Boxing has momentum. It has a lot of fighters that we could pay attention. And I believe that the likes of Teofimo Lopez, the new king in 135, and young fighters like the Vahanis of the world, like the Cambosos of the world, like Ryan Garcia, like Brandon Lee, like Danny Dubois. A lot of fighters. A lot of fighters to look forward to. This is a world sport. This is a world sport. Ryan Garcia, Javante Tank Davis, Chris Copeland, Shakur Stevenson, man, Burchett, Neri, Chocolatito still fighting, Chocolatito Estrada. Ooh, Look, there are fights in boxing that don't come through fruition. Triple G versus Andre Ward didn't happen. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder didn't happen. Spence and Bud Crawford, it's not going to happen. Let's move on. Anyway, God bless to each and every one of y'all. These are my modern day warriors, modern day gladiators that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. Bud Crawford has a great career. A great career. One of the best careers right now in current time. He is a walking Hall of Famer. Errol Spence, good, great career at welterweight, and I believe that he could accomplish more than 154. Probably be more dangerous 154. That he's full flesh, you know, don't have to drain himself coming down to 147. It's okay. It's okay, folks. Just another fight in history that we never gonna get. Who else we didn't get? Morales Marquez. There's these fights that we want that just doesn't happen. Anyway, leave a comment on the bottom. Y'all already know, man. Let's chop it up and go on live. Y'all already know. Happy Hour Thursday karaoke night, the best live show in the YTBC. Happy Hour Thursday tonight. You already know, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Stay tuned. Let's chop it up. Everything goes. All the smoke. Everything goes. Everybody's welcome in the panel. You know, I'm not these panels that be muting, that be blocking. Nah. Everything goes. Everybody's invited. Let's go. Punch Drunk Boxing, baby. The new voice of boxing. The voice of boxing. Let's go. And shout out to Javier Fortuna. Going to be fighting this Saturday. Also, next Saturday, one of the biggest fights, baby. My dream fight is a heaven fight to me. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Mr. 60-40 versus the baddest man of the planet, baby. Oh yeah, Mike Tyson is back. Roy Jones Jr. is back. Oh baby, I love it. Let's go. Subscribe, baby. Subscribe. On to the next. God bless.